There's another hashtag Save Ben Solo and hashtag Ben Solo Lives community action update coming soon. In the meantime, here are a few more thoughts. Yesterday, some Star Wars fans noted that it's been only 3 weeks since we learned about the greenlit then cancelled Star Wars movie to be titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. Since then, the movement to ask Disney to reconsider and redeem the film has accomplished quite a bit. Check out the socials. You can follow live and give a post a like or a share while you're checking us out. And speaking of a redemption story, I was rereading the original Associated Press interview, and I believe we should all thank Adam Driver for taking a significant professional risk. He chose to tell us about the canceled film, and thereby risk being on the receiving end of Disney's ire. It cannot be pleasant to be in the bad books of an irritated megacorporation. I find myself wondering what led up to the AP interview. If I were him, I would have talked through a plan for how to handle the interview with my agent to make sure I understood the end of the NDA correctly, with Steven Soderbergh at least to make sure he was aware his phone was going to explode, and a few others who were named in the article. It's helpful to get feedback on what to say and how to say it effectively. I can even imagine that at least one person probably suggested he consider not sharing the cancellation. That would have been the safest thing to do for his career. Nobody had to know, but he wanted us to know that he had gone to some significant lengths to make a Ben Solo movie. If you watch recordings of his interviews, Adam goes into them knowing at least roughly what he wants to say and what not to say, so it was likely not an accident that he chose to share about the hunt for Ben Solo in that interview. Do we know if he hoped fans might organize to convince Disney to change course? No idea. The Associated Press article in which the revelation was shared was published conveniently just before Adam headed off to film his next project in Eastern Europe. Maybe he felt like it was good timing to get the disappointment off his chest at a time when he knew he was going to have some physical and mental distance from what I'm sure he predicted would be a crapstorm among Star Wars fans. Adam is not alone in his disappointment. There are millions of us, and we're still hopeful that the hunt for Ben Solo could get made. As a wise smuggler taught us, never tell me the odds, because if it's not zero, then there's a chance. And since Adam also grew up watching Star Wars and hearing Han's advice, I suspect that he hoped fans would respond by taking up the hunt for Ben Solo cause. What Adam shared in the AP interview was also a personal risk. Adam typically keeps his professional and personal lives separate. To that end, he typically blinds us with thoughtfully planned commentary on whatever his latest project is, so I'd like to thank him for taking another risk for us. You let us, through AP writer Jake Cole, see a little bit of what makes you sentimental, because you let him write about the mementos in your office, and they include Star Wars. Adam doesn't do social media, but let me imagine that I could address him directly for a moment. I have worked as a career counselor, and very occasionally I meet someone who needs to be told something that everyone else can see. So, in the context of the mementos in your office, you told Jake that your friends aren't even always sure which projects you care about. That tells me your feelings run deep, Adam, and that's probably why you're such an effective actor. You said you can't watch your own work because you see the mistakes. Well, let me assure you, through the lens of someone who just completed a crash course in your entire body of work, that your mistakes so far have been better than some other people's best efforts. You are very skilled at externalizing an internal world so that we can see it with you. In the AP article, you humbly said that you're not sure you're a value add to a production. Your schedule would disagree with you. Nobody would be as busy as you are if you weren't a value add. Your fellow actors wouldn't go out of their way to say positive things about working with you if they didn't mean them. I'm not alone in appreciating your work, particularly in Star Wars. The hashtag Save the Hunt for Ben Solo community has kept the conversation alive for 3 weeks, and we will continue to do so for a lot longer. When the hunt for Ben Solo finally gets greenlit again, we will celebrate with you. I find myself wondering what led. Let me try that again. And since Adam also grew up watching Star Wars and hearing Han's advice, I suspect that he hoped fans would respond by taking up the hunt for the. And speaking of a redemption story, I was rereading the original.